What's going on, guys? ChaseWins.com, and it is Sunday Fun Day, the 13th of March, closing out another fantastic week. I'm going to make this video fast. We got a lot to go over. I want to give you a free play, but we're going to make it fast. So tonight, we've got a huge game of the month going in the NHL. This is one that we hinted at, I think, for the first time, maybe on Wednesday of this week. We spoke about it again Thursday or Friday, saying that pretty much everything had lined up the way that I wanted it to. Obviously, there was no line at that time, so we didn't know, how the odds were going to come out, how the total was going to come out. If it, again, because a lot of times where there's an edge, there's usually, or sometimes it's not even an edge. Sometimes it's mind games from the odds makers and books trying to make you think there's an edge by, for instance, there was a game last week in the NHL involving Tampa Bay. And I can't remember which one it was on because they played a few games over that 7-day period. But anyone, they were playing one, just at first glance, without looking at odds, without looking at anything, you just see two high-scoring teams, two teams that are, definitely playoff contenders. They are definitely, Stanley Cup contenders because, again, in the NHL, it's kind of like baseball. You make it to the postseason. You make it, beyond any type of wild card or anything, where you actually get to play in true best of series. Like in baseball, best 3 of 5, best 4 of 7, and then obviously going into the World Series, all that. It can be anybody's game. While you always usually have a team that is superior to the other, when you're talking about playing, in a situation where you're going to play back-to-back days, then take a day off and then go play back-to-back days somewhere else, and you have to win 3 games or 4 games to advance, that's where you see lesser teams that if this came down to a few days off where both teams could strategize as to how they want to go out and play against, a particular opponent and who will be starting for that game, a lot of times it's fairly easy to assume the outcome. But while, I'm right most of the time, there's always going to be that dog that's still willing to fight and that can fight. And the NHL is the perfect example how the St. Louis Blues won one year. And were they the best team? No, Boston was. Was Washington the best team in the NHL the year they won it? No, they had the best player in Alex Ovechkin. But I really do think that while miraculous, I think Vegas was. And, for them to be a brand new, extension team coming into the NHL their very first season, and to not just have a winning season, to not just make the postseason, they made the Stanley Cup Finals and damn near won it. It's amazing. So this year we're going to get to see, I think, one of the best Stanley Cup runs. I think this playoff for the Stanley Cup is probably going to be the best that we've seen. And honestly, outside of, watching Vegas make it all that way, which was special and historic and ultimately a great Washington team winning it, I think that was the only one that really could somewhat compare and match to what we saw in 2015 when the Blackhawks won it against Tampa Bay. Two fantastic teams going out there and just putting dominance on display night in and night out. This year, I think we're going to get to see something similar, and we very well could see the best Stanley Cup playoff as a whole that we've seen, essentially in the last decade. Definitely since 2 years ago when COVID hit. So we've got a big game of the month coming up tonight, coming off of that push earlier in the week where we had the 5.5 total with the Predators, and buying it down to 5, and then, having the one puck that did cross the line, but they said that it didn't. Instant replay showed that it clearly did, and it didn't just nick it. I mean, the entire puck crossed the line, and, they got robbed. I mean, that in and of itself, had there just been a change in that play to make it correct, they would have gotten to 6 goals, and we could have cashed, the over 5 goals, or even if somebody would have taken it at 5.5, they would have gotten it. But sadly, we had a push. Now, while that's no harm, no foul, guess what? People still paid $50 for that play. So instead of just going out there and making sure that they, I gave them a play that could make them $50, I gave them 3 days for free as if the game were to have lost. That's the type of business that we do, the type of firm that we run, and that's why we are who we are. But coming off of that, going in to what has been a great weekend. And, you know, we did have one bad day. While we had gone all week, Monday through Thursday, and had not lost a single day, had, you know, turned massive profit every single day. We had released 5 daily top plays, won every single one of them 5-0. Friday was the first day that we had to suck it up and take a loss. We lost a few units. We lost our first daily top play of the week, making it 5-1 for the week, but still incredible profit. And of course, being that March Madness is upon us, there were more than one of those daily top plays that were 5-unit winners instead of 3-unit winners, making even more profit. Going into Friday, we were sitting just shy of 30 units. 100% perfect on daily top plays. We did push one of our big, you know, 5-unit game of the weeks, but again, no harm, no foul there. And now we go into Friday, we take that little hit, no big deal. We're still above 20 units for the week. 36, 22, and 1 is the official record. Again, this is through Friday, not including Saturday. That was putting us just shy of 64%. And again, it was a great week. But everybody knew going into this week that my goal, because of what we did last year this time, in 2021, in March of this week, even though there wasn't a ton of action and it was still weird for the NHL kind of being in that little bubble system, and, you know, it being one of those years where the volume of play for us was significantly down based on normal years that we just had to deal with for a year, we still turned 16 units of profit the same week for 2021. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to double that. That was the goal. But the absolute, you know, the need, what we wanted to hit our base numbers was making sure that we exceeded and closed over 20 units of profit. Last week, you know, closing out a great week after a couple of, you don't want to call them bad days. You had a couple of days last week where it started off so strong, but it finished a little sour with a couple of days that, you know, one bad day and then a couple of days where you just kind of flatlined and you just basically split out. Maybe you profited just a hair bit, maybe you lost a little bit of juice, but it wasn't days that really overly affected the bankroll. It was just frustrating when you start so good and you build, you know, those units, and then, you know, right there at the very end, you have some teams that just leave it all out there and don't try, and it ends up costing you what was getting ready to be an extremely profitable day. But again, another week last week was going to be profitable with or without NASCAR, but Patrick, you know, not only going in and having a great NASCAR card, picking up just a little shy of 4 units overall with his props, his head-to-head picks, manufacturer picks, all that stuff. And then going into his race winner picks, he only selected 3. He hedged 3 drivers, a unit apiece, and Kyle Busch was in the mix at plus 850, so about 8.5 units of profit he could have picked up with that one, minus 2 units that you take back for the hedge. And he did have a big long shot, 50-1 odds last week, but then he also had Alex Bowman at plus 1,800, 18-1 odds. He put a full unit on there. And so even though you take the 2 units there, so if he was just right at 4 units, he was just, we'll say 3.5 units, you take 2 units away, put you at 1.5 units, but then you pick up 18 units to really sit right at 20 units of full profit. Just made for another incredible week for anybody who's an All Access member and bets the NASCAR plays, or if you're just a NASCAR season member and you're somebody that just invests once a week on Sundays. Holy shit, you're already up over 36 units for the season, and we're what, 4 races in? Now we've got a race going on this afternoon in Phoenix. Another huge day is ahead. But going into Saturday again, up over 20 units. And we have a big car. We hit a top play yesterday on the Montreal game going over in the NHL. We wanted to close out Sunday strong. And while this game is being released a lot later than I wanted it to, I had to confirm not just goalies, but there was multiple players in question as far as, you know, time they were going to spend out there, what they were going to do. One person was having some inflammation in his hip over the past couple of weeks, so his starting, especially if they played in the last 48 hours, has been in question. I had to just confirm a lot, and it was right about 3 o'clock before I got the rest of the information. So again, I apologize for that, but we've got the game. The All Access members, you know, were notified just a little while ago, about 5 o'clock. So about 30 minutes ago, they were notified and told that we have the 7-unit game of the month. We had a game of the week yesterday in March Madness, And of course, like I told you, when we get into March Madness, true March Madness with the big conference tournaments and beyond, that every top play and up actually gets advanced in unit size to what the next level play would be. And that is for someone who has the bankroll to cover it, or who has been wagering with us for the entire NCAA basketball season, and has been able to, build that bankroll, whether it started small or not. You've been able to build it up, and you've got enough profit to cover it, up the ante a little bit, and make that last month of play just, memorable, and something that would have normally, in normal season play, would have probably taken you, upwards of probably 7, maybe even 8 weeks to profit off of, and you can do it in 3 to 4 weeks. So, been a great week. Again, we won't get into the full details of breaking every single thing down. We'll save that for Monday, once we can include Sunday and do a full week wrap up. I will be hitting the road Tuesday morning very, very early, so you may not see a video from me on Tuesday. As we told you, our very, very, very good long-term, one of our longest standing clients of the firm, one of our just most cherished clients, and somebody who I consider a very, very close friend, Jeff Watkins, unexpectedly passed away last week on Wednesday. And I mean, still, like, I haven't wanted to do videos or anything because I've been legitimately sick to my stomach about it. But his wife sent me the arrangement info. And again, he's a Georgia native, Georgia alum. I mean, he is a Georgia Bulldog through and through. I mean, he is a Bulldog as I am a Tar Heel. And, him and I just think that now I don't think Georgia should have won that national championship. They didn't have what it took. And what's funny is, and it's kind of eye-opening now, is after that game was over and he was just on cloud nine, he said they didn't have what it took to win that game. They did not have it. He said it's almost like it was just meant to be. Like it just had to happen for whatever reason. And now it makes sense, because, it was God saying, hey man, we're gonna give you one. We're gonna give you a Bulldogs national championship. And always people say, hey, as long as my team could do this, I'd die a happy man. For him, that was the truth. So, just prayers up for him, that his wife, his family, his daughter. I mean, it's tough, man. But I'm gonna be headed down there to do that on Tuesday. So if you don't see a video that day, I apologize. So we will get one for Monday, just to make sure we'll get a recap for the week done there. But the ultimate goal was to do double what we did last year and cash in over 30 units of pure profit. And we are right now on pace to be able to do that with NASCAR, and the fact that we've got back-to-back days with 7-unit monster plays going out. Yesterday with the 7-unit game of the week in March Madness, winning on University of Alabama Birmingham, taking care of business, winning their conference tournament. And now we are on to play the NHL for another 7 units. And what we told you is that at the end of this week, midnight tonight, the March Madness packages would be taken off of the site and you would not be able to get them. That remains true. I don't think we're going to extend them. I do need to call in and talk to a couple of the office people. They're going to be there tonight until 7 p.m. or just shortly thereafter. That's about the time they were hoping to stay to update the system and everything for when the race finished. That started at 3:30. But if it's not finished by 7 or close to, finished within the next half hour, they'll just go ahead and come in early tomorrow and do that. But they're hoping that it'll be wrapping up around 7, where they can update the system there, and they will be removing the purchase link for the NHL game of the week. And that way you will not have any more time to buy it. So make sure that if you have not gotten on it, that you do so by 7 p.m. right there at it. That way we ensure that you do get on the play. You can get your wager in, you can cash in with us. Game of the months are, like always, they're $99, but they come with a 7-day pure profit guarantee. You either win or you get 7 days of all premium and daily top plays across all sports, absolutely free, no questions asked. So God forbid it were to lose tonight, starting tomorrow through next Sunday, you'll be getting every premium and daily top play to not just make that money back, but then turn substantial profit over it to ensure that that $99 purchase you made was one that was very well worth it. And that's what we always do. So go jump on that, chasewins.com. You'll see it at the very top of the purchase tab. And then when you go there, if you also want to get on the daily top plays, you are welcome to. 2 for the price of 1. Also both in the NHL for tonight. Those are 7:05 p.m. games. Not going to tell you what games they're in, but both of those puck drops just shortly after 7 p.m. They're $25 each, but you can get 2 for the price of 1 by buying the daily top play membership, $25. You do have to win, or you continue to get those for free until profit is turned. No questions asked. Obviously, the race has already started, so you can't get that. Congrats to everybody that did. But what we've decided to do is leave the basketball packages up. But now that all the conference tournaments are now over, we're getting ready to really get into tournament play. We're getting ready to do the big dance. We're getting ready to start the NIT, all this stuff. We have allowed people now, for people that might have missed out on the conference tournaments, to get in on what's left. The big NCAA tournament, you can buy that by buying the March Madness, standard March Madness package for $99. That is the price what we charge for the tournament, or it's usually $199. But for $99, you will get the entire NCAA tournament, all premium and daily top plays. It will also include NIT tournament and any type of, CBA or anything like that we have. So any NCAA tournament premium or daily top plays or below, you get from now through when there's a champion crowned at the end of the Final Four. $99 pure profit guarantee, or you can decide to jump on the all access pass for that, and it's $199, and you will get all of that was included in the one before. You will also get every game of the week, which are 7-unit rated this time of year. Game of the month, which there will be at least one, that will be a 10-unit rated game. That would cost normally $199 or $99 by itself. And then if there is one that rates out to be a game of the year, even though we have had a game of the year, we will release it and let you know that it is going to be a minimum of a 15-unit, true game of the year, like one-time only bet, where you hardly ever get to lay something like that. But you will get to, and that would be by itself a $200 purchase for that one play. You will get it included, all for $199. I don't know that we will extend it past today. I know that it's on there till midnight. We're going to have a call this evening to discuss it. So to be safe, if you're wanting it, jump on it by midnight. That way, if we don't extend it, you're safe. You got on board and you're good to go. And then as far as the season passes go for NHL and NBA, the remainder that we're going for $299, I have done a 1-day only for, I think it goes into noon tomorrow or something, but we have only opened up another 25 spots on each of them, so you have to be one of the first 25 or get it by that time when it expires. But I'm dropping them to $199 each for the remainder of NHL Premium Daily Top Plays. So it'd be like you were a season pass member, and then you would get the same thing with NBA, $199 for that, or you can buy both of them, for $300, $299. But if you want that deal, you need to DM me on Twitter. Give me the username that you use for my site, chasewins.com, and I will give you a coupon code for you to specifically use to get that deal. That goes, again, throughout the same time. We will try to get caught up on emails and DMs by tonight. We have been flooded with them all weekend. It's been a great week. We're going to close out strong NASCAR in this huge winner. Let me get you on a free play tonight. I really, really, really like the Nashville Predators and Minnesota Wild. While you look at the goalie matchup, you might say, this one, stereotypical under. Everybody still associates under with Nashville, when I told you weeks and weeks ago that Nashville is an over team, and you could blindly bet them to the over, especially on the road, and you would get 7 out of 10 that are going to cash. And as long as you bet them for even amounts, you would turn profit. Now, don't ever do that, but that's what I'm telling you. This is probably one of the most solid over teams when it comes to investing for this season, and it took me a month or two to pinpoint it, but it seems like nobody else has figured that out. Now we just keep making money off of them. We have made more profit off of totals this year than we have anything else in the NHL, because we have had so many totals plays be big 5, 7, 10-unit plays, and just like our game of the year was. And on Nashville, if we had to pick out one team that was more profitable than any other, whether it be that we faded them or we favored them or it was a total whatever, just games involving teams, Nashville is actually the most profitable thing we have this year. Not by a lot, but still it is, nonetheless. Tonight, this is one of those games where, I get people who would think the under. Honestly, when I first looked at it, based on the goalie matchup and everything, I get it. Not only that, I do believe that tells you under, but I did I dug deeper, and what I found, you know, just there, it just made me more confident in my own thoughts. And that's when I was like, no, another over. I like it. And the reason that I like it, it's one of those things where this one right here should have opened up at a 6.5 just based on that. But if you actually look at how Minnesota does at home, again, Nashville on the road. But in this situation, the two types of teams they are playing each other coming off of their last two previous matchups based on the teams they were playing. This is one that's like the stereotypical 4-3, 5-3, 6-4 type game where it gets over 7 and usually does it with at least half of the third period or more left in the game. So, and not only that, at 6 goals, which I think is great value and, you know, an edge in and of itself, at 6 goals, I had it at minus $1.35 was my numbers. But you look in every book across the board, Vegas, offshore, anything, has it at minus $1.05. There was even an even out there with my bookie. We took it at William Hill, obviously, but over 6 goals at minus $1.05, that's edge. That's a shit ton of value, and that is a big, big play for you. So over 6 goals, Predators, Minnesota Wild. That's your free play winner for the day at 7 o'clock p.m. Go cash it. Go lock it in. And I tell you what, for a late game, I like Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. I mean, you're just going to get the Tampa Bay Lightning at great odds. And even though this isn't my most confident pick with the Lightning ever, and this is one that they could lose if they don't keep their head down, this one right here is one of those that the line is just, the odds are not correct. It's an overreaction based on just some bad beats and just information that didn't go their way. I am more than happily going to take them tonight and, you know, get with them what I think is tremendous value overall in a game that they easily could be laying 175, 180, and that still be somewhat of a value to only have to lay $1.40. Even though you're on the road, it's Vancouver, who cares? I'm taking the Tampa Bay Lightning as your secondary, we'll say strong lean at minus $1.40 for the 10 p.m. game tonight. Love you guys. See you in the winner's circle. Go get on the game of the month. Get on some of the season passes that are going until midnight. If you have any questions, reach out. I'll be working pretty much all night tonight, and then going into the office all day tomorrow to get stuff done for when I'm going to be going on Tuesday. Still working, just may not do a video, but make sure that you get on board while you still can in case the team has set up those big packages to come down at midnight Eastern time. Love you guys. See you in the winner's circle, and let's go let's go cash another day, and let's finish out well over 30 units like we planned from the start. Love you guys. See you next time.